660 BC traditional date for the founding of Japan by Emperor Jimmu. 55 Tiberius Claudius Caesar Britannicus, heir to the Roman Emperorship, dies under mysterious circumstances in Rome, clearing the way for Nero to become emperor. 385 Siricius, Bishop of Tarragona, elected as Bishop of Rome, first to style himself Pope. 731 Gregory Roman III begins his reign as Catholic Pope. 824 St Paschal I ends his reign as Pope. In 1543 battle at Wayna Daga, Ethiopian and Portuguese troops beat Muslim army. In 1659 the assault on Copenhagen by Swedish forces is beaten back with heavy losses. In 1720 Sweden and Prussia sign the Second Treaty of Stockholm. In 1766 Stamp Act declared unconstitutional in Virginia. In 1768 Samuel Adams' letter opposing taxes in the Townshend Act circulates around the American colonies. In 1790 Society of Friends petitions Congress for abolition of slavery. In 1793 Prussian troops occupy Venlo, Netherlands. In 1794 first session of US Senate opened to the public. PM William Grenville 1806 William Grenville becomes Prime Minister of the United Kingdom following the death of William Pitt the Younger. In 1808 anthracite coal is first burned as fuel experimentally in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. In 1811 President Madison prohibits trade with Britain for third time in 4 years. In 1812 Massachusetts Governor Elbridge Gerry signs a redistricting bill first gerrymander. In 1814 Norway's independence proclaimed. In 1826 University College London founded, known until 1836 as London University. In 1837 American Physiological Society organizes in Boston. In 1840 Gaetano Donizetti's opera comique La Fille du Regiment, the daughter of the regiment, premieres at the Salle de la Bourse in Paris, France. I Lombardi 1843 Giuseppe Verdi's dramatic opera I Lombardi premieres at the Teatro alla Scala in Milan, Italy. In 1851 inaugural first-class cricket match in Australia, Tasmania vs. Victoria in Launceston, Tasmania wins by 3 wickets. In 1852 first British public female toilet opens Bedford Street, London. In 1854 for the first time coal gas is used to light major streets in San Francisco. In 1855 Kassa Hailu is crowned Tewodros Roman II, Emperor of Ethiopia, by Abuna Salama III in a ceremony at the Church of Derasge Maryam. In 1858 first vision of the Virgin Mary to 14-year-old Bernadette of Lourdes, France. In 1861 US House unanimously passes a resolution guaranteeing non-interference with slavery in any state. Lincoln takes the train. 1861 US President-elect Abraham Lincoln travels by train from Springfield, Illinois, to Washington, D.C. In 1873 Spanish Cortes fires King Amadeus I. In 1878 first U.S. Bicycle Club, the Boston Bicycle Club, forms. In 1878 first weekly weather report is published in UK. In 1889 Japan adopts the Meiji Constitution. The first Diet, or Parliament, convenes in 1890. 1895-17 F27.2c in Bremer, Grampian UK record. In 1895 Georgetown became part of Washington, D.C. In 1897 White Rose Mission opens on East 97th Street, Nick. In 1898 Owen Smith of NC, AME Zion Minister, named U.S. Minister to Liberia. 1899-15 F26C, Washington, D.C. District record. In 1902 police beat up universal suffrage demonstrators in Brussels. Bruckner S9 Symphony 1903 Anton Bruckner S9 Symphony premieres by the Wiener Concertgebouwsorchester, under conductor Ferdinand L. Wie, in his own unauthorized arrangement, at Wiener Musikvereinsaal in Vienna, Austria. Expedition Act 1903 US Congress adopts the Expedition Act, which authorizes the Attorney General to expedite antitrust cases through the courts, reflecting growing popular support for President Theodore Roosevelt's trust-busting campaign. In 1905 James Blackstone, Seattle, bowls 299 last pin breaks, but stands. In 1905, Pope Pius X publishes encyclical Vehementer Nos. In 1907, Der Master S. Dutch government resigns. In 1907, passenger ship Larchmont sinks by Block Island, off Rhode Island. 322 die. In 1908, Heemskerk's government begins in Holland. In 1916, Baltimore Symphony Orchestra presents its first concert, led by Gustav Stroop of the Peabody Institute, at the Lyric Theatre. Goldman arrested for lecture. 1916, Emma Goldman arrested for lecturing on birth control. In 1916, Germany and Austria-Hungary notify the US that they will sink any armed merchant ship starting on 1 March. Wilson S. Four Principles. 1918, US President Woodrow Wilson makes another speech before Congress and announces the 4 Principles: freedom of navigation, and end to secret diplomacy, and similar items that supplement his 14 points. In 1921, Ambassador Theatre opens at 215 W 49th St. NYC. In 1922, influential arts festival Semana de Arte Moderna Modern Art Week opens in São Paulo, the beginning of modernism in Brazil. In 1922, US intervention army leaves Honduras. In 1926, UK transfers administration of Tokelau Union Islands in South Pacific to New Zealand. In 1928, Roman II Winter Olympic Games open in St. Moritz, Switzerland. In 1929, Eugene O'Neill's play Dynamo premieres in NYC. In 1929, Vatican City, the world's smallest country, becomes an enclave of Rome. 1930, 273 highest temperature ever recorded in Cleveland in February. In 1932, Johan Givar Titomspartan leads a Norwegian medal sweep of the Nordic combined event at the Lake Placid Games, retains combined title after also winning in St. Moritz. 1935-11 F-24C, Ifrane, Morocco African record low. In 1935, first US airplane flight with an automobile slung beneath the fuselage occurs in New York. In 1936, pumping begins to build Treasure Island in San Francisco Bay. 1937, 44-day sit-down strike at General Motors in Flint, Mich ends. In 1938, Steve Casey beats Luthes in Boston to win the American Wrestling Association World Heavyweight Championship. First science fiction TV show. 1938, world's first science fiction TV program.